and welcome back to my garden. Today I wanted to walk around and show you what my garden is looking like in the middle of October here in Toronto, Canada. I garden in Zone 6 in Toronto, and my name is Preeti and I welcome you to my channel. The weather has been quickly changing, and the garden is, I think, slowly starting to change into its fall colors, but we could get a frost pretty much at any point from now onward. So I just wanted to catch the garden in its glory today in this beautiful October sun and show you what the garden is looking like. I did plant some beautiful mums in these beautiful pots. I'm just loving the orange beautiful blooms of these mums. I just love mums in the fall, and they add so much to the garden, and they bloom for quite a long time. Let me actually also show you the mums on my porch. So these are the same mums, but they are sitting here on my porch. I did only plant just mums. There isn't really anything else in this fall container, but I love it. I love it full of mums, and it's looking glorious. I also have a little planter here with mums that I recently decorated for our Canadian Thanksgiving weekend, which just passed, and I just love how this container looks. So I planted a sedge in here. This is an ice dance sedge, which I think looks really pretty in this container. It is kind of an evergreen sedge. Like, sedges are usually evergreen. They will kind of look tatty probably sometime in Jan and Feb, and then they can be cut back in early spring, and they should flush back new growth. So the reason I planted this one in this container is because I kind of want to leave it in this container and not having to change this as I change some plants around it. So I'm hoping that in the spring I can add some pansies or tulips and other spring plants in here, just to kind of add more color seasonally in this planter and keep these grasses as the thrillers in this pot, and work around those grasses. And I think this looks really good. I love the yellow mums. These are like almost like a orangey yellow mum, quite different from the other orange mums that I have, but I love how this planter looks. I also planted an ornamental kale in here, and I have some, oh, this is stuck here. I also have some beautiful pumpkins in here, tiny ones, but I think this looks really nice. And I also have another planter with those glorious orange mums. So loving how this looks, and let me just walk you through my garden today, what it's looking like. Roses are still blooming. This is my I think it's the red knockout and the Oh So Easy rose, which is still blooming. Loving all the color, the pop of color this offers. And my geranium Roseanne is really happy, and it's gonna keep blooming till a very hard frost. So I love this plant. This is one of my oldest geraniums. I think it must be at least 10 years old. I haven't divided it yet, but it's just every year just gives and gives and gives, and I just love it. I also have this beautiful black and blue salvia, which overwintered for me last year, and it's looking glorious as well. It looks gorgeous in here, and it's just everything is getting such a beautiful fall glow. I also have my peony foliage turning a really nice color for the fall, which I was going to cut this back, but I think I'm going to enjoy it for another week or two and just see how these colors change, and then I'll cut it back, because I do cut back my peony foliage in the fall, because they usually get powdery mildew by now and they look horrible. So, but so far this year they've been looking good. The cosmos are still hanging on. I do have some blooms still, and they look good. The sedum is kind of aging, but it's still looking really good in the garden. And I do have a bloom on this mystery rose. I think this rose is called Singing in the Rain. It was supposed to be Coco Loco, but it was mislabeled by the nursery, and they did actually call me back and they told me that it could either be Coco Loco or it could be that Singing in the Rain rose. So I think this one is certainly not Coco Loco. I think it is Singing in the Rain rose. I think that's what it is. For those of you who have Coco Loco, let me know what you think. I don't think this is Coco Loco. This is too orange. And I would expect Coco Loco to be a little bit more beigey. Anyways, this is what the front garden is looking like. Alyssum is kind of self-seeded and blooming still and doing its thing. Here there is still more geranium that is blooming and it's still looking good. Slowly things are starting to fade, which is typical of this time of the year, and it's looking really pretty, and at the same time it's starting to fade as well. Lots of roses. I do have some zinnias and some pelargoniums blooming here. They are all red. So it's adding that pop of color, and lots of Verbena bonariensis is blooming. It's going to continue to bloom till frost. I just love this plant, and actually haven't moved it anywhere. I've just let it grow where it's self-seeding, and it's looking fine. It just weaves its way through a lot of my plants, and it still looks really good. I do have some blanket flower blooms still on this plant. And they're adding that pop of color there. The summerific hibiscus is kind of changing some nice fall colors as well, which I really appreciate at this time of the year, the change in color. I do also have some more blanket flower that's blooming here. There is beautiful hydrangea color that continues to deepen and darken as the fall months are appearing. Lots of roses in the back there, blooming gloriously actually. Lots of black spot too on the roses, but I'm loving all the color on these roses. Let me get closer and show you those roses, how they are looking. They are absolutely gorgeous. It's a little bit tricky to get in here, but I want to show you how beautiful these are. These are gorgeous. I think this rose is called Rosie the Riveter. It's just putting out so many blooms right now, and it's looking absolutely fabulous. There are more plants in the back there. I need to dig up my bananas and store them for the winter. I also need to store my cannas. There's a lot of work still to be done in the garden, but I've been kind of busy with other things. But I think this weekend, with the weather warming up a little bit, I think I'm gonna get out here and start to put some of these things away. I think that'll feel good. This banana is still pushing out new growth. I'm just loving it here. It's also starting to get a little bit of yellowing because of the cold and the fall. So I think, yeah, this needs to go indoors pretty soon. And this part of the garden has faded really nicely for the fall right now. It's aged even from the last time I showed you into these beautiful, delicate kind of purpley tones. Look at the Agastaki foliage. It's slowly aging into this purple tones, which I'm loving. The blue boa Agastaki, it's still blooming. It's still looking great, and it's still blooming and looking gorgeous. I do also have some fall colors on the quickfire hydrangea. The leaves are turning into a nice kind of burgundy reddish tones, which are looking really pretty. Yeah, I mean, the garden is looking amazing at this time of the year. For mid-October, I think it's still looking pretty good. This Japanese maple is kind of turning a little bit more bright, and it's transitioning into its fall colors. This is Lillian's Jewel Japanese maple, and it's looking great. And there are some more roses here. This is Rainbow Niagara Rose. It's so tall, and it's just got the perfect blooms on it. It's just amazing. I love it. So yeah, I mean, I have to come out here and cut back some of these roses to at least waist high, just so that they are not rocking around in the wind in the winter. So I have to do that. But Boulevard Garden is also looking really nice. There are rudbeckias still blooming in here, and I also have some zinnia blooms, some rose blooms, and I wanted to show you the color change on my fothergilla. So this is the Legend of the Fall fothergillas, which I planted last year. Sorry for the noise, but this is turning a brilliant red color, and there is another one there which is also turning a beautiful vibrant color. So I can't wait for those shrubs to mature, and we'll see how they do here. But this Boulevard Garden is looking really pretty as well, with its changing colors and the plants kind of slowly dying back. A little bit of color change on the spireas as well. This place gets full baking sun, so it's looking pretty with all the color change. There we go. This is the other side one more time, and let me just walk now into my side yard and show you what that is looking like. It is actually, let me see if I can get Ollie out first. I think he's waiting to go in the backyard with me, but this is a view from here. There is blooms on the morning light miscanthus, which looks really pretty as well, glowing in the sun, and it's looking great as well. Beautiful blooms on Pinky Winky Standard as well, which is looking great for this time of the year. I'm just loving all the pinks and the dusty rose tones and the purples and beautiful muted purples in the garden right now. They're looking great. All right, let's get Ollie. Have him with me. He's ready, he's stretching, he's ready to go in the backyard with me. So let's go and see what's happening. So side yard is looking amazing as well. There's a lot of subtle blooms here and there, but I'm just loving the transition and the color change and the beauty at this time of the year. If you notice, there are some roses that are blooming here. These are I think the carpet roses, just the pink carpet rose. Few blooms on Graham Thomas as well. This has been blooming on and off the whole season, and lots of color change on the Blue Star Amsonia, which is turning a nice yellow color, which is looking really pretty. And what I wanted to show you is I'm really enjoying this color change from my kitchen window. This is the Berry Awesome Hibiscus, and look at the glorious color change on this. I wasn't expecting this one to change into this beautiful like fall tones, but it's looking really good. I never thought of this plant giving me fall color, but it is. It's gorgeous. It's looking really pretty. I also have color change starting to happen on my Royal Raindrops crabapple tree, which I planted last year. It's looking beautiful. It's getting its orange fall color, which is looking really pretty. I also have Geranium Roseanne here, which is blooming, and it's looking really nice. And here is Ollie. He was taking a nap, and he saw me go outside, and he's here joining me now. This little vignette here is looking really pretty as well. I put a pot of mums here, which I'm enjoying quite a bit. I have some blooms on bougainvillea as well. It's looking really pretty. I have to take this inside, and this is one of the tasks I need to do soon. I think by this weekend. I can see that it does have some cold damage as well, so this needs to go in ASAP. I can't wait on that. And then look at this fall color on this beautiful quick fire. So this was a branch that broke on one of my quick fires, and I just stuck it in this pot in the spring, and it stayed in this pot all spring. I think it's rooted in because it didn't die all summer, and now in the fall it has this brilliant fall color. So I am excited about this plant. I will see what happens to it. I'm going to leave it in this pot for the winter, and we'll see next year what that does, if it actually did root in, because the color is fabulous. My palm needs to go inside as well. It's time I move it in. But this garden here, the side yard garden, is looking really nice. Let me give you a look from here. It is full and it's got a lot of plants in here, but I love it. I love how everything is glowing in this beautiful fall sunshine. It's looking amazing. And beautiful color on this tiny vine 9-buck as well. I'm just loving how much fuller it is this year, and it's just the color of the foliage is really beautiful with all the fall colors as well. I don't quite remember if this has any change in its color in the fall, but I will have to keep an eye on this. I don't remember if it changed colors last year. More hydrangeas, you know, continuing to deepen their colors and look fabulous. And here is a look at my little patio in the backyard. Things are looking good. I've been actually enjoying coming out here and spending time because it's been really nice with the sun. Another part of Mum's was planted here and it looks really nice. I can see this from my back patio door, so I love looking at this pop of orange here. The shade garden is slowly, I think, starting to also change. The yellows in the hostas are becoming more vibrant with the sun and the cooler temperatures. And then there is subtle color change everywhere. I do have a tiger eye sumac, which is changing into its beautiful fall colors. This is looking really pretty, and it's changing into this lovely orange hue. And it is really looking nice and vibrant in this garden space here. I just love how this looks. So far this hasn't suckered anywhere, but I will keep an eye on that. But I just love this plant. I love how this looks in the garden. It adds a little tropical kind of vibe in the garden, and I just love it. And here is another viburnum which has changed a beautiful fall color. So this is the double file viburnum. I think it's called Mauritii. It's looking beautiful as well. It is growing in fair amount of shade for me, but it's still turning a lovely fall color. I just love how this looks. In this part of the garden, no notable fall changes here, but everything is looking really pretty and muted. I do have a service berry here, which is slowly, this was a rescue service berry, and this is slowly starting to change its color as well. Let me just walk through here. There isn't really anything else happening, significant change here. There is a little bit of color change in this beautiful oak leaf hydrangea. So we'll see how this part of the garden evolves over the next couple of weeks. And there's Ollie. He's looking so beautiful with that tiger eye sumac in the background and the pop of orange. Just looking fabulous. Lots of blooms still going on in this part of the garden. I do have the Persicaria firetail, which is still blooming. There is geranium Roseanne here, that's also blooming. Let me show you more roses that are blooming. I think this rose here is called Elizabeth. It's still blooming, and look at all that cosmos that's blooming there. Isn't that gorgeous? It's just stunning. Absolutely beautiful. Let me just get closer to it and show you. That's looking beautiful there. It's such a beautiful color of cosmos. These were all started from seed. I do need to come and harvest my veggies and my carrots. They are ready to I think to be harvested. But look at this beautiful Queen Elizabeth rose. Isn't Oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. I love how it's looking. I think it's really getting established now. There's a lot of black spot on this lilac. This is the blue meringue lilac. It's all the asters are done blooming and they're seeding, so I need to cut this back a little bit. I'm leaving some of these seeds for the birds to eat. They are done blooming. And the roses actually are continuing to flush out new blooms every day. This is the beautiful Julia Child rose. It is putting on quite a few blooms already. This was newly planted this year. And I do also have a bud on my Rhododendron rose, which is looking pretty as well. So lots of new growth on the roses, and they are looking really, really good as well. Over on this side, I do also have sporadic blooms on roses. I mean, look at that rose that's blooming on top over there. I think that's the Galloway Bay rose. It's beautiful as well, and it's super tall, and it's looking great as well. Another color change on the Sumerific hibiscus there. It's popping because I can see those color changes, and they're looking really pretty in the garden as well. The Temple of Bloom Seven Suns tree is changing. The black color has changed and it's looking really pretty as well. I'm loving the glow that it's adding to the garden. Very excited about this tree shrub, and I hope it grows up really quickly in this spot. I want it to get bigger and more present in this spot, and it's gonna look fabulous. What else is happening here? Oh, I did plant some blue stem grasses here. This is little blue stem. This is called Standing Ovation. Little blue stem. It's gorgeous. I love the colors on it. It's got a really nice mix of colors, blues, greens, aquamarine. It looks really different in the garden. Still have some dahlia blooms going here. Looking beautiful. And I think this one is almost done blooming. I love the color on this one. I still have the Rudbeckia herbstone. It's still blooming. It's been blooming since August non-stop, and it's looking really nice. I did make a few edits in this spot. I moved my Calicanthus shrub on the other side. It was behind this dogwood tree, which I felt was, not doing justice to the tree. So I moved it, and I still have to figure out what I'm doing behind there. But for now, I've left it, open. We will see next season what I do with it. And I did plant a Pinky Winky Prime in this spot here, and I think it's going to do really well. It was sprouting as soon as I planted it here, but I think now it's settling in, and I think next season it should be nice, and it should kind of fill in and be quite present in that spot. More roses are starting to bloom there. That's the Aurora Borealis rose. It's starting to open as well, and it's looking nice. The grasses, I think, are looking really nice in this spot. They're adding a nice glow in that spot. Vegetables are still going. As you can see, there's a lot of produce this season. I still need to come out and harvest. There's eggplants, there is celery. I think they are getting frosted now, so I think after today I'm going to come out and clear a lot of this veg and take it inside and enjoy it, preserve it, enjoy the vegetables, because they're gonna get frosted very soon. So that's the plan today. Lots of plants here as well that are still blooming and looking decent. There is change in color in the dogwoods. They are starting to change their colors. I don't know why a lot of my roses are growing as though they are climbing roses with these really long canes. I need to cut them back before the winter sets in. These need to be cut back. Dahlia blooms there as well. Tomatoes growing here as well. They need to be harvested. Lot more roses blooming here as well. This is the Carefree Carefree Wonder rose, I think. It's beautiful. I love how loose and flowy this rose is. It's very soft and very, very flowy, and it almost nods downward, which I really like. It looks great. This is the Beauty Berry. This is Calicarpa Polglam, and this has beautiful, beautiful purple berries. I mean, they are unimaginable that they were going to turn this beautiful color, but they do, and they are gorgeous. I just wanted to show you the color change on this. This plant is really spectacular. I love how this looks. And what's happening on this side, I do have this Arctic Fire dogwood, which is, I think, slowly going to change its color. And I love these red stems here for the winter. I think they look really nice. Still have some blooms on this Fiji Rose of Sharon. It still has blooms. It's been blooming non-stop. I will come and deadhead this in a couple of weeks. I will remove all of the buds, so I don't want it to seed around. And my figs here are not mature yet. I don't think I'll get to harvest these this year because they are still pretty young. They need a lot more time and heat to mature, and unfortunately we are cooling pretty rapidly here, so I don't think this is going to give me any figs, but I do like it for the foliage. I like that it survived my winter here. We'll see how it does next year. What else is happening here? I do have some rebloom on the Helenium here, which makes me think that I should have deadheaded this, and so next year I will do that because it is producing some new sporadic blooms, which is looking pretty. Nothing else really much happening. Lots of herbs here, lots of lavender that is blooming here as well. And yeah, the garden is looking really, really good for this time of the year. It is got a lot of blooms. Oh, I wanted to show you beautiful Princess Charlene rose, which has bloomed on this shrub here, and it's looking absolutely beautiful. Look at this beautiful bloom on Princess Charlene. Isn't she gorgeous? Love the color of this rose. I can't wait for this rose to grow up and be beautiful next year. I just love this rose. The only thing I'm thinking is I might move this rose a little bit more on this side so that it has a little bit more space. So that is something I might do this fall, dig it up and move it. But it's blooming so beautifully right now that I don't want to touch it and disturb it, but I might just have to do it for the future. It's gorgeous. I love this rose. It smells wonderful too. So I'll end this video on this beautiful rose and how it's looking in this part of the garden. I just love how this looks. And that's it for this week, mid-October garden tour. As you can see, a lot is still blooming and a lot is fading as well, and it's soon at this time of the year things are going to start to change pretty rapidly. I love the sound of the crunching leaves and the leaves just flying everywhere. I just love this time of the year. So on that note, I will end this video and wish everyone a very happy gardening day. I hope you're enjoying fall weather if you do get fall where you are. If not, enjoying your gardens in general. It's a beautiful, beautiful space to be, and I wish you all a lovely day, and I'll catch you very soon in another video. Thanks for watching.